So good evening everybody and welcome back to F1 action here on FTRL. It is week 5 of season 19 and we are here at the Mexican Grand Prix and we are on board with JHT, who is running us down towards turn 1 at the end of this long first straight with the DRS zone. Going to be a prime overtaking opportunity in the race. Flicks through turns 2 and 3. He's supposed to get, big twitch there as he tries to get on the power. We saw last week he had a very lively car at Singapore and he's starting again with a bit of a twitch there as he heads down towards turn 4, second of the DRS zones. Against this slow third gear, left and right chicane, then up towards the first hairpin, double apex, grandstand now on the left hand side, giving the fans a brilliant view, then short blasted up towards the next corner in there through these fast sweeping S's. Ride the curve as much as you dare, but don't invalidate. There's the DRS detection line for the third part there. Big twitch again from JHT as the DRS opens up, and open the angle as much as you can do as we head into the old baseball stadium. The right-hander down to the second gear, left-hander slow as you like. Start to build the speed as we go through the grandstands, under the bridge, and then out of the long sweeping right-hand corner. That brings us back onto the start finish straight. Oh wow! He got on the curb, was heading for an accident with the pit wall there, but just about saved it. First lap on the board. Then for him it is a 15.7. Just pointing when Johan just starting a lap. We got coming around. Then we'll go on board with Lynx. Says he quite likes Mexico. As you can see, the numbers are slightly down this week, unfortunately. Number of absentees. Are they just scared of the Mexican Grand Prix? I'm sure they're genuine excuses, really. Link's coming out of the final corner then and goes second fastest on a 14.7 then. Meanwhile, it is the reigning champ who's just gone to the top of the pile. Tika with a 14.1. Of course, winner last time out at Singapore. He survived the carnage and the chaos that was brought by those walls. Caught a number of people out last week. He really got his championship aspirations underway. He then pops himself to P4, a lap on the medium tyres. The Johan is invalidated as SLX Tom then goes third fastest. Dylan's up behind him starting lap then, so the older McLaren. They're trying to get a slipstream from the Mercedes. Pops out the last second. Trying to get every bit of advantage he can do. Then through turn 2, turn 3. So his team have a big twitch in the S-pod as well. Both McLarens then stamping on the power and having huge dramas there out of turn 3. 28.5 then for sector 1. This is his first lap time, so we don't know if he's improving. I'll miss the split times from the laps earlier, so we'll just have to stay on board and see what he can do. What? Alexa has just told me that he is spelled H-E. Congratulations, I'm pretty sure I can spell he, thank you. Jeez. Going then down into the baseball stadium then with Dylan, 56.7 for the middle part of the lap. Into this final sector then, the technical tricky sector then through the left-hander. Just one corner left to go. Drift all the way out to the outside then. And cut tight. Doesn't have the same drama his teammate did, and that is enough for P5 then, right behind his teammate, and so the McLaren's sitting 4th and 5th tonight so far. What we got on the lap then? Matman is coming into the baseball stadium. Well, that's simply Superman then coming out of the final corner. Goes second fastest, a 14.7 then. In fact, he's got equal with Lynx. They've got exactly the same time, down to the 1000th. Barcelona behind and goes 4th on a 15.3. So that's a rare sight then. 2 lap times equal down to the nearest 1000th from Lynx and Simply Superman going up to P2 then. Here comes Kelvin out of the final corner. Oh, here's a big end swap out the final corner into the pit wall. Keeps the tyres on it though, thankfully. That then was a big moment for the Ferrari. Oh, and he's collided with Zumpi, who's coming into the pits. And he's got himself a 5 grid place penalty. Oh dear, that's not gone well at all. Now, that has gone a little bit drama, so Calvin really not gone very well at all for him there. That man coming out of the final corner. He's on his way into the pits, and actually invalidated. Pagani's decided that one lap is enough, so he has banked 16.8. He's going to save his tyres for the race. Off on his way into the pits, as is simply Superman. The on-track action about to end for the moment, as the drivers wait for... In fact, Tico's on his way out, so we'll go on board then with the reigning champ. Of course, winner last time out at Singapore. He really was the class of the field last week, wasn't he? So, did everything he needed to do last week. And the strategy came to him. Because he was lucky, of course, at Crims, who was, I say he was a class of the field, he probably wasn't actually a class of the field. Crims was once again looking like the class of the field. But picked himself up a drive-through penalty under a safety car or BSC. And that was then got himself a 5-second penalty for speeding as he came to serve said drive-through penalty. And thus ended the race. So we'll hand back some of the championship deficit that Tico had, of course, from crashing out at Imola. Let's see what the Ferrari man can do as he heads down towards turn 1. This long straight course, this will be the prime overtaking opportunity in the race. Into the first couple of chicanes. Very easy to invalidate there. Plenty of curb. Oh, it's a little bit deep there. And a little bit of a wobble. But not the big snap like we saw the two McLarens have earlier on. And he is 1.126 up in Sector 1. So already on pole position by 0.6 of a second. And he's already on target to improve. And the chat, good evening, Matman. Pagani, yeah, so as long as you qualify on the back row anyway, you may as well save the tyres. I have not had myself some tequila. I don't have any tequila. Actually, I think I do have a mini bottle of tequila. It's been in my house for years and years. Should probably go into drinking that at some point. I'll maybe take it to Donington Park in a couple of weeks. There you go, Tika then. Still improving in the middle sector now, 0.155 up, so marginal improvement through the middle part of the lap. And of course, to just further extend his advantage at the top as he comes then up to the final corner. Final bend he comes and finds a little bit of time in the final sector and into the 13s then. I won the 13.9 from Tico. That is a very solid lap there from the reigning champ. We'll pick up Zumpy then, who had a good run at the end of last week. A couple of penalties have shuffled him back a little bit, but a solid run from Zumpy last week at Singapore. And what we see a strong result from him tonight. He's been threatening it for a while. Of course, we are quite low on numbers tonight. A couple of ringers in tonight. We've got JHT in. Barcelona, Matman and Pagani have also stepped in kindly. We're unfortunately getting to that time in the game cycle where people just don't really care so much anymore. A bit fed up with the issues. Of course, we are now waiting for details of F1 2022. Just about hanging on to that. It is 1.1 seconds up then in Sector 2, so a massive improvement on the cards here for him. I'll put him down to a 15.2, which should be good enough for the second row at the moment, if he can find any time in the final sector. Goes that narrow line out the final corner, rides the curb, and Zumpy goes for fastest. 14.752, then so comes to almost made 3 on the 14.730s, and comes at 22 thousandths shy. Let's pop himself onto the second row of the grid. Excellent lap from him there. See how Lynx is getting on, and Lynx is down in Sector 1. There's the time to be made in Sector 2, who's just moved up there. Kelvin has just gone on to the third row there. P5 for him. 15.2. About Lynx, and he's pulled some time back in the middle sector then. He's his personal quickest. Dylan now slots into P5 to the 14s. At the final corner then. Is Lynx going to find some time in the final sector and improve? He does by a 100th of a second, and that gives him P2 once again. The Superman just ahead of him on track. Is he going to... Tom then crosses the line, goes P6. He's now into the 14 to the 14.9. Just starting a lap. HT to the Sector 1. See what the McLaren man's doing. He is 4/10 up in Sector 1. And oh, Batman's retired in the S's. So we've had our first accident-based retirement. And then what about Yarham? He's invalidated his lap. So we'll go back with JHT. Dylan's on an in lap. Oh, a bit of a twitch again there from JHT in the S's. Got to try to change direction. And Williams getting well out of the way. And he is now 8.5 tenths up, so big improvement on the cars here for JHT. This will put him into the 14.9, so around about the third race. Dylan goes second in the other McLaren. 14.6 then, so Dylan pulling out a stunning second run. Thought he was going to go into the pits, but no. And JHT usurps him with a 14.634, so the McLaren's just separated by 5 thousandths of a second now. And suddenly they're second and third on the grid. So excellent second runs from those two. Let's put them onto the first and second rows respectively. Superman, I think, is going again. He validated his first run. We saw him getting out of the way there of JHT, in fact. So, what about his second run on these tyres? He is 0.166 up then, so improvement on the cards here. Can he wrestle back that front row start? He shared the same time with Lynx, but was put into P2. After his opening run, he's been shuffled down to P5. Of course, winner of the opening round of the season at Imola. And very much in the title mix this season. Using the McLaren there for a little bit of slipstream. Now 2 tenths of a second up in the middle sector. Nice clean line, then into the stadium he comes. Gets the car slightly rotated. A little bit of an oversteer there as the power just kicks the back of the car around. Hopefully that doesn't cost him too much. Out of the final corner, he improves 14.3. He finds some time in the final sector, so despite that little bit of a slide, Simply Superman onto the front row and has closed that gap down to Tico to just 4 tenths of a second now. So Tico's very healthy advantage just whittled down a little bit, but in F1 terms that's still a massive gap. So the Williams man then on to the front row once again then. So we've got one driver on that lap, 2 now, so we've got Kelvin on that lap. And while we're looking at Ferrari, we should probably talk about the Australian Grand Prix, should we? So what a race again for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc absolutely dominant at Albert Park. Despite Max Verstappen's best efforts, I think the Ferrari just had the edge all weekend. He drove absolutely supremely up front, apart from that safety car restart, where he ran a bit wide out the final corner and struggled to switch the tyres on, which a lot of drivers have been blaming the safety car for. So Max Verstappen having a chance, but thereafter Charles Leclerc was pretty much the dominant force and picked up his second win of the season. With Perez getting second and George Russell getting his first podium of the season. Great to see from first, well, call it his first proper podium in F1 as well, shall we? Obviously, we think back to Spa last year, which wasn't really a race. It was 2 laps behind the safety car in wet conditions. This one, good and proper, and nobody can deny him that one. So great job from Russell. Also, we'll talk about Alex Albon as well. What a stint he put in, 57 laps on the hard tyre, and then pits for the soft right at the end, and clings on to P10. So Williams on the board, which leaves Aston Martin's the only team without any points on the board. So a lot of work to do then for the former Racing Point, former Spiker, former Middle. Oh dear, Barcelona very wide out of turn 3. He's down towards the first checkpoint now. That cost him some time. He's only 2 thousandths down there, so not lost out too badly. As Lux Tom has decided his session is over as well, so he's staying on his 14.9. He's currently P7. Now is Barcelona going to challenge that time down in the first sector? Kelvin has also... Oh wow, Barcelona with a big 4-tyre drift out of the S's, but he's a quarter of a second up. Wow, that is, you don't see Formula 1 cars slide very well usually. The brilliant car control there to salvage that. In then to the final minute and a half of the session. A few drivers out then for their final runs. Does Barcelona improve on P10? He does. He goes P8 on 14.966. Now is he going to go for another run? We shall see. To get his foot in. Behind him, Yarham crosses the line. But it's invalidated again. So Yarham struggling to get a time on the board. This will be his final shot at it. We're into the final minute of the session. Tico's on track again. has invalidated, so he will not be improving. And is Simply Superman even going to make it round in time? I don't think he is. Right, JHT, who's just gone past Simply Superman. Into Sector 2. Currently P3, both McLarens on the second row. Full commitment there through the S's. Nice direction changes. Is he up? He is up. In Sector 2. 5.132 of a second. A bit of a wobble down the curb. Gets it slow, gets it turned. Oh, again, big twitch of as the power. Johan has gone off in the SSA. He will not be setting a time. Out of the final corner. Oh, gee, he goes second. He's pipped Simply Superman, who has got across the line before the checker flag has come out then. So, as the time ticks down, Yogi crosses the line. He will start P10. And then make that P9 because Kelvin, of course, got that 5 grid place penalty then. So Simply Superman just been bumped off the front row by JHT despite that massive slide. Is he up then in Sector 1? The answer is he is not. He's 15 thousandths down. Is Tico going again? He is. Tico's on a mission to improve even further. Meanwhile, further up the track, he's going to be the first one to complete. Zumpy's gone P4. On a 14.357. A bit wider out the final corner. Comes to the line, but Tico improves on a 13.6. Wow. What a lap that is. How Simply Superman getting on, still down in Sector 2. 26 thousandths down. He needs to find about 200ths of a second to propel himself back onto the front row of the grid. Is there any time in this final sector? Nice run there on the power, hugs the inside. Oh, he improves. Oh, he's matched the time again. Another 14.318. So we've got two 14.318s. JHT, though, stays on the front row. Zumpy has completed. So JHT then will be the final one round. He's backed out of this one, so he's going to start on the front row, despite having exactly the same time as Simply Superman, who earlier in the session matched the time of Lynx. Into the pit lane, and that then will end qualifying. 12 driver's an idiot. Don't call Matt an idiot, Pagani, that's rude. Well, what a lap that is from Tico at the death there. Absolutely stunning lap of 13.6. To just show the field he means business tonight. JHT, his nearest challenger, 0.634 back. There's some gap to first place. Simply Superman matching his time to the thousandth with his final run, but stays P3. Zumpy, great qualifying from him, P4. Dylan will start P5 alongside Lynx in the Alpine. Tom will start P7 alongside Barcelona, with Kelvin P9, but he will start at the back after picking up that 5 grid place penalty for the colliding with Zumpy in the pit lane. Yogi qualifies P10. Matman, Pagani and Yarham, who didn't get a time on the board, will have 3 tyre choices. And despite overcast conditions in qualifying, we are treated to blue skies and sunshine. Well, a couple of clouds in the air, but I imagine we're looking at a dry race here. Not really one for a wet race, Mexico. Obviously in the Central Americas, close to the equator, you'd imagine it'd be nice and warm and toasty. The drivers then set their strategies for the race. Let's get some podium predictions in the chat, please, everybody. Who do we... yeah, Michael there. Tico is from another planet. He definitely is tonight. Obviously missing some of his competitors. I imagine if Crims and Robin were here, he might have been a little bit closer. But the qualifying is one thing. Race is something completely different. Of course, let's see then what tyres everybody's on. This one I think is likely to be a 2-stop race, so we shall see. Anyway, Tico leading us off then from pole position, gets himself that extra point on the board in the Ferrari, leading us around on this outing lap. He's joined on the front row by JHT. Really good qualifying from him. He had a really good qualifying last week. Unfortunately, his race ended quite early doors with a spin into the wall. Hopefully he will make it a little bit further this week. threatening a very strong result there in P2. P3 we find Simply Superman. Great job from him. Onto the second row of the grid. Match the time of the man directly ahead of him. On count back stays P3. Still likely to be a threat on that run down to turn 1. His pole position is the front row the place to be with that long run down the slipstream. Towards turn 1 we will find out too. So Simply Superman will be a threat, as for this man Zombie in the AlphaTauri. Likely to be dangerous. Could he be leading into turn 1? We will see very soon. Dylan thought he could have been on the front row. So missed up a final run. Great job though. Still P5 for him. Both McLarens then in the top 5, and he shares the third row with IFR Lynx, the season 17 champion. SLX Tom starts P7 in the Sol Mercedes with Barcelona in the Haas P8. Yogi starts P9 in the Red Bull, and Matman, who's gone on soft tyre. For the person, of course, he will have fresh soft tyres. I think qualified outside the top 10, but being promoted by the penalty for Kelvin. And then the two Aston Martins are the only two to start on the medium tyre, Pagani and Yarham, 11th and 12th. And Kelvin, after getting that penalty, will start P13. So unfortunately just 13 tonight, but we've seen in previous weeks numbers don't necessarily mean a drop in quality of the racing. Tico to bin hits Zombie podium 100%. So Dutch there coming in with some support for his friend and his fellow countryman. Drivers then just readying up. And we've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And the Mexican Grand Prix is go. There's a good start from Tico. Simply Superman's had a poor start. Zombie's had a really good launch already. He's through the two drivers up to P2. And here comes the snaking down the straight then as the drivers try and break the slipstream. Tico this seems to have held the advantage. Sweeps over to take the line. It's 3 wide. Zombie though is going to hang on to P2. And we'll try and shuffle their way through. Everybody getting through okay? Yes, they have. Yep, everybody's around the first couple of corners okay. So Tico held the lead brilliantly. Got a really good start. The two directly behind him didn't get the best start. Zumpy managing to pick his way through. Oh dear me, that's Dylan getting shuffled wide by first Simply Superman and then Lynx, and now Tom Duval up the inside of Lynx. Still side by side, there's the come out of the hairpin. Lynx has got the inside for the S's, but Tom's going to try and hang on the outside. Oh! Lynx just about saves it. It has to cut across the AstroTurf and drops in behind Dylan. Tom and Lynx there wheel to wheel, neither of them wanting to relent. And Lynx just about saved a huge moment there. Great car control. The 3 wide further back, look. Kelvin made up 3 places already. And Johan and Pagani battling Matman as well. They come into the stadium for the first time, but Tico is away and running. His lead is already a second then as they come out of the final corner. Zumpy giving chase. The close gap, Lynx and Dylan close together. There's no DRS until lap 3, so we'll have to be slipstream and ERS overtakes for the first couple of laps. And Lynx is closing. Is he going to be close enough into 1 though? Not quite. Pagani and Matman meanwhile also having a duel. Yarms into the pits already. Seems to have some wing damage, and onto the soft tyre he goes. He's now trying to push that lead up and over a second already. Leaving everybody else to fight over the final 2 steps on the podium. Zumpy then getting the jump. HT in third, Simply Superman, Tom Duval, Dylan, Lynx, Barcelona, Yogi all together in a line. And then Kelvin just about on the fringes. Oh, got a yellow flag. Oh no, Zumpy's gone. And the VSC deployed. Oh, Zumpy, no. So Zumpy suffers a snap through the S's, and unfortunately after that brilliant start getting up to P2, he has crashed out on lap 2. And the VSC is deployed, and that's a big shame for him. After the brilliant start. I'm going to blame that one on Robin. He's cursed you there. I didn't say anything. So VSC deployed, then so they come around to complete lap 2, start lap 3. Into the pits comes Barcelona and Yogi. Going to get off of those soft tyres, and the soft tyres do tend to go off quite quickly here. Yogi onto the medium tyres, Barcelona onto the hards, interesting, so they've split their strategies. Barcelona's going to try and go to the end then. Yogi expecting to make at least 1 more stop. Now trundling their way down pit lane. Around the hairpin comes the race leader, still under the VSC. And the two drivers who pitted, Barcelona and Yogi, have made their pit stop. That's going to save them a lot of time. Oh no! JHT's got a drive-through penalty as the VSC ends. Oh, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself. And just being promoted to P2. He's now going to have to drop all the way down. He's probably going to come up with Pagani and Matman. He'll be down to P9. The betting, he probably wasn't even that close to the delta in this game. Does like to kick your way down. He's going to try and extend the gap as much as he can do. Trying to break the slipstream already. Meanwhile, IFR links once again right onto the back. Now the DRS is active. Maybe Dylan's got it from Tom. Tom's got it from Simply Superman. Simply Superman's got it from JHT. So he's going to stay around about where they are. Can anybody get a better run out of 3? Dylan seems to have a good run there. So again, the links touch right in as well. Dylan's going to be closer for a move into turn 4. No, he's going to stay where he is for the moment. Johan's setting the fastest lap of the race meanwhile, 17.9. Into the S as we go. Lead now 1.7 seconds. Of course, that's going to grow. And JHT has to peel off. Literally wide down the dirty air. Head into the S's. It'll be very interesting to see how the cars get on at this circuit this year. Able to follow a lot closer. And this is a really bad area for dirty air. It's really going to affect the cars. Is JHT going to peel off this lap? No, he's going to go around again. Simply Superman then taking the fastest lap meanwhile, 17.942 then, so despite being on slightly worn tyres, Simply Superman making the move now on the run down to 1 as Lynx goes past Tom Duval. Dylan's gone past as well, so Tom Duval's had a moment somewhere and lost 2 places. Dylan and then Lynx both drafting past. He's out of DRS range, so that might have been a contributing factor, and of course he won't have DRS to come back at them now with either. As Johan retakes the fastest lap meanwhile, the 17.8 this time for the Aston Martin man. Meanwhile, change for P10, Yogi going past Barcelona. These two of course just pitted. Now they could come into a factor because if they've now made their first stop on the Barcelona, of course, now he's likely to be able to go to the end. The question is, does he have the pace to get to the to maintain his position? We shall see, but he can now go to the end, so he could be a factor in this one yet. Yogi like to move up the grid. He's on fresh tyres. Those soft tyres will be going off. Another circuit where the tyre degradation is surprisingly high on the soft tyre. JHT peeling off then this time. Simply Superman retakes the fastest lap then Dylan snatches away then, so Dylan now with a turn of pace at 17.6. Of course he got a nice bout of DRS on that last lap. Lynx now starting to close in. He's not no DRS this time, and Lynx I think is going to be too far back into turn 1. However, he's now right on the back of the McLaren as they weave their way through turns 2 and 3. And another DRS then coming up quickly. Dylan's run wide and got a penalty. Lynx going to be close up into 4, not quite. So he has to stay where he is for the moment. The arm has not taken back the fastest lap this time. So race leader is TK, 1.7 seconds ahead of Simply Superman, who's managed to ease that gap down a little bit. Of course, that was the gap to JHT, who then moved out of the way. So Simply Superman's just managed to come. Although he's had a better run through the S's, and that gap now up to 2 seconds. Just controlling the pace at the moment. Lynx meanwhile still looking to find a way past Dylan. And he's got Tom DeVal right there as well. So very much still in this battle. This is the best battle at the track at the moment. Lynx, I thought he's peeling off into the pit lane there. Barcelona now with a warning penalty for track limits. Here then comes Lynx on Dylan, down the start finish straight, sweeps across and into P3 with the DRS. And then again he will have it again now on the run down to turn 4, which should mean He retains the place. Did a good run out of the chicane though. I don't really like that. It seems a bit weird. Still hanging on to P4. Tom DeVoldo has closed back in again. So these three then circling just a second between them. The lead now up to 2.5 seconds in the Ferrari man. Tico just easing away at the front. Spreading that gap little by little. Into the stadium section we come for the 7th time. Race leader going around again. Simply Superman around as well. 3rd, 4th and 5th. This battle for the final step on the podium continues. Here we go again then. It's time for the DRS train. JHT has just made a move on Pagani in the stadium section. So he's now up to P8. Giving chase to Macman now as he tries to recover. He will be absolutely kicking himself. Well, Dylan has caught the back of Lynx, then down the start finish straight into the 2nd DRS. Oh dear, Tom DeVal very wide there out of 3. I think Lynx is going to have enough of an advantage to stay P3 for now, and what he is doing is also closing on Simply Superman. Get down to 1.2 seconds in fact, so Williams is tantalisingly close. A carrot dangling in front of the Alpine then. Can he do anything then through this S's section here? Down to nearly a second, he's nearly in DRS range. Much better run there through the S's. He is now closing right on the back there of the Williams. There, the Williams losing just a tenth or so to the Ferrari that lap, so Tico's lead still growing. No, we're all going around. Calvin up to P6 then, so despite that penalty for a contact in the pit lane, he's finding a way up to P6, and so good job from Calvin so far. Bit of no man's land. He's 4 seconds behind that battle for the final step of the podium, 5 seconds ahead of Matman. He's doing a really good job up in P7. JHT in P8. Dropped Pagani, giving chase to Matman. Then we've got Yogi in P10. Now he's pulled a bit of a gap to Barcelona. Where are they going to factor in once the pit stops start later on? Johan still closing that gap down, having made that pit stop on lap 1. In P12 then. Lynx continuing to try and close. He's hold on to P3 again then, so despite those long DRS straights, he's held on to that 3rd place. Tantalisingly close that DRS from the Williams, but going a little bit through there. The Williams having a better run. 1/10 of a second, it's so close. He can have a good run through the stadium section here, get himself within that 1 second bracket. Make this battle for P3 a battle for P2. He's just outside it there as they go over the line. A good run out of the final corner. There is the start finish line. Again, no DRS then for the Alpine, and now he's out of battery as well then, so that's how hard he's pushing. Now is that going to leave him vulnerable to Lynx? To Lynx? He is Lynx. To Dylan, sorry. Into turn 1, not quite close enough this time. JHT pits. Oh, Lynx gets a penalty for track limits. So pretty ferocious around here. He is now, however, in DRS range of Simply Superman, so he's closed that gap down. He's now within that 1 second bracket, then into the pits and onto the medium tyre goes JHT. He's fighting back. He had to serve a drive-through penalty. Into the S as we go. And Tom DeVal now's got one as well. So the penalty's starting to come. Lead meanwhile, 3 seconds now. Tico just easing away. Oh, the tyres on that Williams just going away a little bit. Why try and undercut the Ferrari? Especially now he's got these guys right on his tail. It's going to be a good time to get off those tyres, try and undercut them. What about the race leader? He is going around again. Williams, meanwhile, is in the pits. So he's heeded my call. Pagani and Johan picking up penalties, so 3 then goes Links up to P2. He now gives chase to the leader. Tom Duval's also pitting, so the Mercedes and the Williams are in. Dylan and Links have carried on. Links, interesting, has broken the DRS to Dylan, and also, of course, because he was so close to Simply Superman, still had DRS, so that's going to help him pull even further away. And is Simply Superman coming out. He's out in P6 then, just ahead of Pagani. Tom Duval's coming just behind. Yeah, he's now close to within 4 seconds of Tom Duval then, so despite being on, Tom Duval's gone back onto the soft tyre, interestingly. So, you know, he likes to be aggressive with the strategy. Oh, Links with another penalty then, so that's 2 for Links in a couple of laps. Sweep then into the stadium section. He's got that down to 3.1 seconds, so there goes the Ferrari flashing through the foreground. What about Tico? Is he going to be in this time? He is. That seems to be a line for the pit lane. It is. In comes the race leader then. Links has gone round. Dylan as well. So second and third carried on. They now become first and second. Tom Duval gets a penalty as he goes past Pagani. Now, where is Simply Superman relative to Tico? Tico's trundling down pit lane. Kelvin's gone through for P3. That one goes through. Tico leaving the pit lane. Here comes Simply Superman. That gap's going to be closer. Both of them now on the medium tyres. Simply Superman has closed in massively there to the undercut. Big effect there. He's got now to within 1.5 seconds, so he's halved that gap. Of course, now trying to get his tyres up to temperature, so there's still a chance to close for a couple of corners. 1.2, can he get within that 1 second bracket? You know, the Ferrari's going to have some heat in its tyres. He just start easing away again, further back Johan and Barcelona. Exchanging places into turn 4. Martin has caught the house. He's on the hard tyre. Johan, of course, on soft tyres. Tico has caught the back of Matman as they come into the stadium section. He's down the inside. I think that was going to let him go. Obviously, filling in tonight. It's not his battle. So good driving there from Matt. Meanwhile, race leading duo carried on again. That's Kelvin. Matman into the pits, so he's making his first stop. That releases Simply Superman to resume his chase of Tico. The gap has held firm at about 1.4 seconds, so Simply Superman does have DRS. I got that from Matman, so could that get him back onto the tail of Tico's Ferrari? Let's see. Well, Johan and Barcelona changing places again down the start finish straight. Aston Martin getting the move done. And then have DRS again, then out of 3. Maintain position. JHT then in the background starting to close in as well. Gap then between Tico and Simply Superman now 1.6 seconds, so just easing away again. Tico just starting to rebuild that advantage. Dylan now with always a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so Dylan pits but has missed the pit speed limiter line as he takes over as Tico sets the fastest lap of the race at a 17.5 for the Ferrari man. Superman maintaining the gap though, so it wasn't a bad lap from Simply Superman. Dylan then's going to join, but he's behind Tom Duval now. Quite some way behind as well, in fact, so it's not been ideal for Dylan running longer. However, it will mean he could potentially go into the soft tyre at the end, so this one could go back to him yet. A long way to go in this one so far. Coming in on lap 14 of 36. And the running order is as follows. Links is your race leader but has not yet pitted. Kelvin up from the back of the grid to P2, also though has not yet stopped. They're both then doing 13 laps on those soft tyres. That's a very impressive stint Tico was the pole sitter, he was the race leader, he has pitted. He's now charging his way back forwards. He's currently sat in P3, Simply Superman, now just dropping away again. The gap is back up to 2 seconds. Pushing as hard as he can. Not making any dent at the moment on that Ferrari. Tico just seeming to have enough to just eke away little by little, lap by lap. Still a really strong P4 at the moment. That will be a net P2 as Kelvin pits from P2. Link's going around again. So Link's, they're really doing a good job on these tyres at the moment. Alex Albon levels of tyre management, but this time on the softs. Goes on, Kelvin then on his way down the pit lane. In comes Pagani, he's getting off of those medium tyres. And then comes through to P5, Yogi up to P6, Kelvin back on the track, he's now P7 then. With JHT and Barcelona giving chase. JHT is caught and passed Barcelona. Barcelona though giving chase as Kelvin there trying to get his tyres up to temperature. JHT closing in. Down to 0.1 seconds, he won't have DRS this time though. Johan into the pits then and onto the hard tyre as well. So the other Aston Martin pits as Pagani comes back out onto the soft tyre. Moving their way through, up in P6. He's leading this train. They'll sort of just spread out a little bit, but close enough that they might start troubling as in comes the race leader. So Lynx is in. Then we'll take over out the front once again. Superman gap at 2.6 seconds then, so that gap's just inching up and up. Now, where is Lynx going to come out relative to Tom Duval and Dylan? So Dylan's coming out the final corner. Lynx is trundling down pit lane, so Dylan's going to clear him. Lynx is going to come out in P5. A couple of seconds back on the McLaren. Johan with a penalty. Track limits. And just 4 drivers without penalties. That's Tico, Simply Superman, Kelvin and JHT at the moment. 2.2 seconds is the gap then, but he's on a lap fresher tyres than Dylan. We've got a yellow flag in the final sector. Looks like Yarham has spun in the baseball stadium. He's on his way again though. Hard tyres probably not the nicest things around here, so I'm interested to see how Barcelona gets on. You can see he's just dropping away, doesn't have the pace at the moment. Yarham into the pits, and unfortunately that is the end of his evening. Oh, Dylan's now got a 3-second penalty for track limits. Added to his 5-second one for speeding in the pit, then he'll probably serve that one later in the race. So unfortunately not Yarham's night. This is currently the battle to watch then, as Yogi now being caught by Kelvin. Of course Yogi on the medium tyres. He pitted under that VSC. They got 12 lap old Kelvin on fresh medium tyres. In fact Yogi's peeling off into the pits, so Yogi into the pits. Some fresh tyres. Now is he going to go on to another set of mediums to go to the end? No, he's going to the soft tyre, interestingly. So soft tyre for the Red Bull. His way again as the JHT and Kelvin now the battle closest at the moment. JHT trying to fight his way back through, having had to serve a drive-through penalty. Do anything about the second of the Ferraris. Their way through. We'll go doing down the order then. Just 11 left running at the moment. Tico then is the race leader. That gap now 3.8 seconds. So he has just eased away once again. So despite Simply Superman's attempts to undercut, he did close the gap down. He wasn't close enough to strike, and Tico has just once again just eased away 10th by 10th. 17.8 there for the Ferrari, 18.6 then for the Williams behind him, so that is why that gap is growing. Tom Duval, a really good run for him up in P3 then. The undercut has worked out very nicely for him at the moment, but he is on the soft tyre. So he will be stopping earlier again. I think he's hoping that the undercut works out for him once again in that final stint. You imagine he'll go onto the medium tyre. While the two behind him, Dylan and Lynx, who've just pitted, they're now on the medium tyres. They might go for a soft tyre stint. JHT meanwhile makes the move on Kelvin into one. with the DRS. Gets it stopped, gets it turned. He's on his way again. He has, however, picked up a penalty. Finally, so now just 3 drivers remaining without penalties to their name. And they're going to try and stick with him, see if he can come back at him later in the lap or the start of the next lap. The DRS, these two then battling hard, over 6th place at the moment. Barcelona up in P8 on those hard tyres, just doesn't seem to have the outright pace at the moment, but hoping for, if this race can stay strung out, he can get to the end, so this could come back to him later on. We are at a halfway point. He's P8 at the moment. His teammate falling like Matman, giving chase, 4.8 seconds back. Solid run this from Matt. Good practice for him for tomorrow night when it matters more. Pagani meanwhile running around in P10. He's on fresh-ish soft tyres. In the background is Yogi, who's just pitted for some soft tyres as well. Doing his personal best middle sector as well then, so he is flying. Of course, it is his outlet though, so... beat a representative time then. Tico though continues to pull away at the front. Yogi takes the fastest lap then, 17.2 for the Red Bull man. So emphasising he's got some pace. JHT meanwhile has held off Kelvin Downs, the DRS zones, for another lap. Kelvin with no penalties to his name though. Will jump him if they stay as they are at the moment. Kelvin on significantly fresher tyres, 5 lap fresher tyres. JHT again has a bit of a wobble there through the S's. Just that McLaren looks on the raggedy edge sometimes. Must be his connection. But, no slow boy. Started P2, so besides he's got some pace over 1 lap, and now he's having to show what kind of pace he's got over the race distance. Took himself out of that podium contention though. That drive-through penalty, he will be absolutely kicking himself for that one. Further forward, links are starting to close in on Dylan, who in turn is starting to close in on Tom Duval, so these 3 are coming back together. Tom of course on the soft tyre, and now 8 laps old, so he's, oh, big 4 tyre drift out of 3, opposite lock on there, rallycross style. That's cost himself about half a second to the pursuing McLaren. Unfortunately, Olvi and Zumpi's race has ended on lap 2, having got a great start from P4, vaulted into P2, and then got into this part of the track here. I think it was through this corner here, had a big slide and ended up in a wall, unfortunately. Oh, and Lynx with another penalty, so that's 3 now for Lynx, who's pushing hard. So that is now 3 penalties to the Alpine. Now you can see, I think those soft tyres on that Mercedes are past their best, because the McLaren has closed right in on him. Now, he's going to go around once again. And now starting to snake down the straight, they're trying to break the slipstream. With a penalty further back. And then comes the McLaren, he's closing. He's going to go the outside way. Tom jinks to the inside, lets the McLaren swoop around the outside. And we'll drop in behind him then, try and use the slipstream to stay ahead of the Alpine. Oh, again! Catches that curb and back end, trying to get around. Brilliant car control from Tom Duval. It's not the quickest, it's not going to be doing those tyres any good at all. But it is superb to watch. Excellent car control from Tom. Dylan promotes himself back up to P3. Now, are we going to see him dive into the pits then? We have got 16 laps to go, 15 and a half laps to go. So in the window to make those medium tyres go to the end. Of course, a much lighter fuel load now, so maybe now is the time. Those soft tyres clearly dropping away. Link's now homing in as well. I'm going to bail off, peel off, bail out. So 2 sayings in there of one. Get on the medium tyres, try and undercut again. He is. Cut short, into the pits he comes, don't speed. Yep, gets it stopped. He'll slow down in time. Into the garage he goes, medium tyres going on. And he's on his way again. Still this battle raging on for P6, though it's about to become P5 as they go past the Mercedes. Kelvin not quite close enough again. JHT doing a good job at holding him at arm's length. Not making much impression on the cars ahead, so JHT... What does he do strategy-wise? Because he started again, twitch off the curb. Not being able to shake off the Ferrari. Of course, that penalty to his name. That will mean that the Ferrari will jump him if they stay this close. It stands, but Tom, they're making the move on Barcelona quickly. So that's where Barcelona is going to come out net-wise. Tom de Valen, who's in that battle for P3. Barcelona's just behind him, but could end up about P6 at the moment. As he stands there, so that's where Barcelona will end up once everybody ahead of him does their final stop. And Dylan going round again. JHT still together, so a couple of packs together. Pagani closing on Yogi, Yogi closing on Matman, Matman closing on Barcelona. And in turn is still chasing Tom de Val. Calvin's had a bit of a run off the final corner. DRS now opens. But again, I don't think he's going to be close enough into one. Despite the DRS and the slipstream. We have to drop it again. What's going on up here? Dylan has got Alpine right on the back of him now. So Link's starting to think about making a move again. So around the double apex hairpin we go. Alpine now right on the back of him. Head then into the S. A bit of a slide from the front end. Dirty air from the car ahead. Real killer in the last year's cars. Hopefully with the new regulations and on this year's game, it will enable people to follow each other closer through those kind of corners. Of course, we'll get to play this on the game before they actually get to do it in real life in F1. So, oh, penalty then for Kelvin. So, meanwhile, race leader is in. Let's see, go in for his second and final stop. He's going back onto the soft tyre, interestingly. So, of course, we saw Lynx do what, 13, 14 laps in the first stint. So you can definitely extend the tyre life. So he goes first one to blink, and Lynx swoops by into P2 at the end then of the start finish straight. So we'll have DRS again then on the run down towards turn 4 now. Got dropped in behind them ahead of JHT. Still got Kelvin with him, but Kelvin now has a penalty as well then, so they're all equal on the penalty front. Here he goes past Matman. About to call him Batman then. Why not? I think I was going to call him Barcelona and then realise it was Matman. And then you get a mixture of two and they're Batman. So there we go, Yogi goes past Batman up to P9. Of course he's likely to make one more stop. Both drivers probably got one more stop to make. On those soft tyres, 6 laps old already. We've still got 12 and a half to go. Don't think they'll do 18 laps. Try and close in on the other Haas, which is 3.3 seconds up the road. Barcelona doing a solid job, in P8. A couple of drivers ahead of him still have to make another pit stop, so it's a good shuffle yet. Superman's going around again, Lynx as well, and giving chase. Tico comfortably in P4, going over the penalty further back. Now Kelvin this battle becomes a little bit more necessary for him to make a move, because he's lost that advantage of not having a penalty. Well, just 2 drivers now with that penalty. Shui top 2, Simply Superman, and Tico, who's just pitted. JHT doing a really solid job holding Kelvin at bay. Can I twitch off those curbs? That McLaren looks to be on the edge of adhesion sometimes. He's so far done a really good job. He's fought his way back up to P5. Dylan with another penalty. Through the S's there. So he's in the dirty air of the Alpine ahead of him. Oh. JHT's got another penalty. So Superman's going around one more time. So So is Lynx, so is Dylan. And Dylan, of course, has a 5-second penalty to serve. Dropping out of contention this battle. Just Tico takes the fastest lap, the 16.1. That is some improvement on the fastest lap. Coming again, and in the still happy to be dragged around. Staying in the DRS, not been close enough for a move yet though. Might to stay close enough through the baseball stand. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, Yogi's crashed. Where has that happened? Is that in the pit lane? Safety car. It is the speedy Mercedes rather than the slow Aston Martin. So Yogi has crashed out, and was that in pit lane or on the start finish straight out the final corner? Couldn't see. But on that 26 of 36, we have got a full safety car for the first time. Our third retirement of the evening. And that is definitely going to shuffle the order. Oh, Lynx has got a penalty under the safety car. Silly boy. Right again, then into the stadium section. Now. Oh, he's got another one for corner cut. Lynx, what are you doing? Oh, he's retired. So Lynx is retired, unfortunately. In comes Simply Superman, in comes Dylan. Dylan will serve his 5-second penalty. Simply Superman. And fresh tyres and the opportunity to have a go. JHT is in, Kelvin is in. Everybody now going to bail for the soft tyre, you feel here. Tom Duval's in, Barcelona in as well. That man will follow suit. Pagani already pitted, so he's on soft tyres already. Pico there revving the engine, trying to burn a bit of fuel. He's clearly saved enough. And this then will stack everybody back up again, so all those gaps have closed. Let's have a look at the penalty situation then. So top two, still no penalties to their name. Dylan in third has got 9 seconds and 6 seconds for JHT. 3 for Kelvin, 6 for Tom Duval, 3 for Barcelona, 3 for Matman, and 6 for Pagani. So top two then have the advantage, no penalties to their name. So it's now a question of who's going to get that final step on the podium. And Kelvin's driven really well. He's on 3 seconds as well, so he's got half as much as the driver directly ahead of him, and a third as much as the driver 2 cars ahead of him. So he's got a very good opportunity here to get a podium if he can stay with them. Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. Although still would have been decent points. And obviously no crims this week, so yeah, I can imagine it's very frustrating. Yeah, this is really strict on penalties in this track limits. It's not often you see many drivers get away without. So kudos to the top two for getting this deep into the race without any penalties, although we don't know how many warnings they've got. Tika, now the pressure is very much on again. Now, having been comfortably in the lead, he is now faced with the prospect of having 8 drivers right behind him, and all going to be gunning for him, and the one directly behind him. So there's no penalties then, so we've seen him being able to pull away from the field at every stage of the race so far. Resist attempts to get close enough to attack. What can you do in the final sector with everybody on fresh soft tyres? Now he's on 3-lap-old tyres in fact, so he's got a couple of laps on, so there'll be a little bit of wear, but not much. But might that be the difference? He's going to need to make a really good restart. The two Hazes and the Aston Martin coming out the hairpin, so they will join the back of the train shortly. We'll have everybody together. Safety guys in this lap then, field is all together, so we're going to go racing on lap 29. We will have 7 laps to go. McLaren duo poised to try and attack then. Safety car pulling away. Of course, it's still on track at the moment, so Tico will not pull the trigger. Good evening, Zomlar. Thank you for tuning in. Join us as the safety car ends and we're about to resume racing. Tico has been dominant so far. He's toying with them. When does he pull the trigger? The answer is now. He's got a good launch there. The McLaren's on their toes. Attacking the Williams and start snaking down the start-finish straight then. Switch sides, JHT going to the left. Dylan down the inside. They're going to go 3 wide here, are they? Oh, they're going to get pinned in. Dylan's been passed by JHT, who's then down the inside of Simply Superman into 1. They give each other room though. Respectful racing, that's letting Tico just pull away. Oh, big twitch from JHT as he gets out of turn 3 again. JHT on his toes, off the bat. So the Superman now having fended off the advantage. Can he get closer to Tico? Can he strike? No DRS for 2 laps now. That might help Tico's cause. He tries to stretch away into the SS section here. This is the tricky bit. Dirty air is going to be a big factor through here, but JHT doesn't seem to bother him too much. Oh, see the Superman's wide there. That might have been a warning. Tico's getting that gap up already. He's pushing hard. Hashtag Team Pagani, very much so indeed. He's going to get a minimum of top 9 here. Everybody together. After the restart then, Tico's already pulled that second gap. I think he's had a really good restart there. Despite being on slightly older tyres. Everybody's just sort of spread out a little bit this time. DRS of course, so just a slipstream train at the moment. McLarens are very much together again. They're now starting to come back at JHT. Just feel myself at the time at the penalty situation, so Dylan does have 3 seconds more. Kelvin's the one to watch on just 3 seconds. So that's maybe why Dylan let him go. Spread out a little bit through the SS here, but once again staying close there. And the gap's only sort of Barcelona, Matman and Pagani just a little bit off the back. And once the Superman is out of DRS range of Tico. We've got the gap up to 1.2 seconds. And this is the lap the DRS will be re-enabled. And they will not have it down the start-finish straight. I don't believe. No, they will not, but they might have it on the run after turn 4. And Dylan's had a really good run out of the final corner and is closing on his teammate again. He's gone defensive. Dylan deciding not to make a move. Kelvin also got Tom Duval looking interested behind him. Now this is the section where DRS might be re-enabled. No, it's not. Not this lap then. I don't know whether it's just the one detection zone perhaps. There we go. To the first of the stadium sections we go. Continue to harry the back of the Williams, who is just out of DRS range of your race leader once again. Tico has done that brilliantly. Just been able to just ease away at every stage of this race. Now they have DRS again. Now so the Superman just needs to look at the penalty situation of the cars behind him. So well, it is not ideal if the McLarens go past him. As long as he can stay with them, he will re-jump them. Oh, JHT with a big twitch there. It's cost him a bit of time. He'll still have DRS though. And he's also got his teammate right on his back. Just staying out meanwhile. Matman and Pagani duking it out then. It's the Geordie pair. And Pagani's going to take the move into turn 1. Matman's going to try and hang on around the outside though. He's getting this up for 2, but Pagani's got that move done. Matman's going to try and come back at him on the exit of 3. JHT right on the back of Simply Superman again. He's held off his teammate. They've closed right on the back of the Williams. He's doing a really good job to hold that gap to Tico. It's not extending. Right on board then with the McLaren through the S's. You can see there through that final bit of the dirty air really hurts the car. Simply Superman, he's hanging on to Tico's coattails here. Tico's not pulled away since that restart. He's got that gap, in fact there, the gap has come down. He's right on the cusp there. Tico can't afford to rest on his laurels here. He's burning the ERS and trying to get to that 1 second bracket. He's just not quite there. Pushing hard, hard, hard. Tico, they've got back fuel ready. Here comes JHT. To the inside, into turn 1, move done, through goes the McLaren, takes P2, he had pace today, that drive-through penalties put him out of sync. Now here comes Dylan on Simply Superman as well with the DRS to the inside for 4. Simply Superman then, having held him off so long, he's now getting shuffled back, but of course just look at the penalty situation, bigger picture. Can afford to let them go, because they're not going to pull 6 seconds on him before the end of this race. However, he'll not want to drop too far back. Calvin and Tom Duval very much in the hunt there. JHT, oh, he's got another penalty, JHT. He's got some clean air, but he's close to within a second. JHT is close to within Tico. He's actually got in DRS range here. Now, Tico will see the penalty situation, as I think Simply Superman has done, and it can decide that doesn't need to make a massive fight of this. Plus 9 seconds against none. Can't see JHT pulling 9 seconds on Tico over the remaining 3 laps of this race. Stranger things have happened. Here comes JHT. He's going to make the move into 1. Oh, Tico tries to fight it. He doesn't need to fight this. JHT's going to have DRS again. Mattman and Pagani have rechanged places into turn 1. JHT to the outside this time, and it gets the move done. So JHT hits the front, goes a little bit deep into 4. Now here comes Dylan. Mattman and Pagani still trading places side by side. Mattman got the inside for 4. Pagani trying to hang on around the outside. They'll give him the inside for 5. But backs out of it then. Mattman getting that move done. But up front then we have a new leader for the first time in this race. It's not through the pit cycle anyway. He hits the front. Smackman gets another penalty further back. Now Dylan now trying to attack Tico. So is the other McLaren now going to make a move on the fry again? He's got 9 seconds of penalties. Tico doesn't need to worry about him. The man he needs to worry about is the one in 4th. It's the only other driver with no penalty. Simply Superman's been quick all day. Maybe a couple of tenths away from Tico. JT then going to the inside there to try and break the slipstream. Is it into the DRS zone we go. Dylan's had a good run, and Tico's going defensive. He doesn't want the other McLaren going through. Now with the DRS you think he would be safe. Dylan has nothing to lose here but pride. What might have been if not for that drive-through penalty. Now Dylan's had a really good run there out of turn 3. Tico's having to go defensive here. They've both got DRS, so he's going to be on the brakes if he wants to do it. Can he hang on around the outside for 5? No, he can't. Yellow flag further back. I think Pagani's got around. Oh, that man's had a drama as well. Yeah, that man's had a spin. He's on his way again. Or maybe he was waiting for Pagani, maybe. Maybe there was contact. JHT pushing hard. He wants to win this one on track, if nothing else. Tico, I think, has played the sensible game here. He doesn't need to win this one on track. We've seen before in other races what happens when you make moves you don't need to make. Looking at you, CRE Oscar. Out then of the baseball stadium for the penultimate time. On to the final lap we go. JHT will lead us across the line to start the final lap. Dylan going for the move again. He's had a really good run again. He's closing in. Both of them on their ERS. Tico's used all his ERS. Here comes Dylan. Is he going to make a move into 1? Oh, he's not going to be close enough, is he? Not quite. Tom Duval's just dropped off the back a little bit. He's had a moment somewhere. Down to have a go at Tico into 4. Barcelona's got a penalty further back. Doesn't looking for it. He looks to the inside, trying to put Tico off. No way through. Simply Superman just hoping that Dylan can make a move. Then he can have attack at Tico the final lap. He's right on the back of the Ferrari, but the Ferrari holding firm. Kelvin's right there as well. He's going to get a podium out of this one. I think he's driven brilliant as well. Just check that he has only got 3 seconds still. He does indeed. Batman and Pagani still trading places. Further back, Pagani down the inside. But we need to look at the leaders then, as they come through the baseball stadium for the final time. Out of the final corner, JHT's going to win on track. He's driven brilliantly. Oh, big twitch just to finish off. He wins on track, but Tico will win this one. Simply Superman gets second, Kelvin gets third, JHT will be fourth, Dylan will be P5, Tom Duval P6, Barcelona at P7, and Matman and Pagani still duking it out. Who's going to get the P8? On track at least. Matman, I think, has got this. Oh, Pagani's got another penalty just to a nail in the coffin. Matman crosses the line, he'll be P8, Pagani P9. Some great scoreboards at the end there, great job from GHT. But it is Tico who wins. Simply Superman second, great drive from those two. Kelvin up to P3 from 13th on the grid. Great drive from him, I think that's his first FTRL podium. Like I say, great job from him there. But the reigning champ picks up his second win in a row. His title ambitions are very much alive and kicking. Back-to-back victories. Simply Superman there just didn't have that opportunity there. If he'd not been shuffled back behind both McLarens, he might have been able to have a go at Tico there at the end, but he has to settle for P2 this week, but he's still banking some solid points. And Kelvin, yeah, getting his first FTRL podium. Great job there from the Portuguese man in the Ferrari. Big points for Ferrari. Tico then gets the clean sweep. Pole position, fastest lap, and a victory as well. Simply Superman, great job from him, P2. Kelvin up from 13th on the grid for P3. JHT there, winning on track. Great job from him. Those penalties, though, costing him a podium. And of course that drive-through penalty, what might have been. And Dylan gets P5, and entertaining finish from him as well. Tom Duval there just slipped off the back of that battle on the final lap there, and it missed out on the top 5, but still P6 good points. Barcelona, solid points for him in P7. Bit of no man's land for him, and then Pagani and Matman duking it out at the end there. Matman prevailing in the battle for P8. The retirements were Lynx, Yogi, Yarham and Zumpy. And so despite the low numbers, once again Div 1 providing us with an outstanding race here at the Mexican circuit. That of course is not the end of the action from FTRL. Oh no, we are back here tomorrow once again to do it all once more. It is of course Div 2 on track tomorrow, and that is always exciting and fun, so please do join me for that one. We are at the same time, 8 o'clock for that one, for the Div 2 race here. And next week we move on to the Cathedral of Speed. That is Monza. So it is the Italian Grand Prix next week. That makes it as we reach the halfway point of the season. And it is of course our first sprint qualifying race of the season as well. So a little bit extra racing for you next week. So I look forward to. But congratulations to the podium sitters, the finishers tonight. Thank you for those in the stream, for the comments and the likes. And if you haven't already given it a like, please do so before you go. Back tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we do it all over again. Of course, still no GT leagues, as the lobbies are still a bit nerfed. There's an update coming imminently. Hopefully that will provide us some sort of fix. And then hopefully our GT7 leagues will be up and running. ACC wrapped up this week as well at the Hungaroring with a double header. And congratulations to Flying Throne even on the ACC title. He was the man to beat for much of the season, and he rightly took the crown with a couple of excellent races to round off the season. That will be back in a couple of weeks, so if you are interested in joining either our ACC league, our F1 league, or our GT leagues, please do get in touch with us. It's at _FTRL_. There is also a dedicated ACC and GT page, so please do visit those if you would like to be involved. But for this evening, from me, thank you for joining us, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock, when we do this all over again. But for me from tonight, goodbye. Goods End and all that jazz.